Clearing up windows. Alright, let's talk about something we never question, but absolutely should. Why are windows clear? Seriously, you ever just look at a window and think, why can I see through this solid object? Because that's weird. If you walked up to a wall and saw right through it, you'd either call a scientist or an exorcist. But windows? Totally normal. No one's losing sleep over them. So let's fix that. Let's ruin the simplicity of windows by overthinking them. Glass is just fancy sand. First off, glass is basically sand that went through a midlife crisis. You take sand, heat it to over 1,700 degrees Celsius, 3,090 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot enough to melt most metals, and what you get is a bubbling, lava-like substance that cools into glass, which means every window you've ever looked through is just a really well-behaved puddle. And if you're thinking, okay, but why does melted sand become clear? Congratulations, you just asked a question that took humanity thousands of years to answer. Glass doesn't play by the rules. Most solid things, wood, metal, plastic, are opaque because their atoms are arranged in a strict orderly pattern. Light hits them, bounces off, and boom, no see-through action. Glass, however, is a rule breaker. It's technically a solid, but it doesn't have that neat, organized atomic structure. Instead, its atoms are in a random jumbled mess, kind of like a liquid that forgot to keep moving. Scientists call this an amorphous solid, which is a fancy way of saying, yeah, we don't fully get it either. And this messy atomic structure, it lets light pass through without scattering. That's why glass is transparent while something like a brick just isn't. Your eyes are also complicit in this scam. Now, here's the wild part. Glass is technically only clear because our eyes allow it to be. See, transparency isn't just about light passing through. It's also about how our eyes process that light. If humans saw it in a different wavelength, like infrared, glass might not look clear at all. In fact, certain types of glass completely block infrared light but look normal to us. So the only reason windows are clear is because our eyes are in on the illusion. But not all glass is clear. Ever notice how some glass is tinted or frosted? Or the worst kind, car windows that somehow manage to reflect the sun directly into your eyeballs like a laser beam designed by the gods of suffering. That happens because of how light interacts with different treatments on glass. Frosted glass, for example, has tiny scratches on it that scatter light, making it look blurry. Tinted glass absorbs or reflects certain wavelengths, so it can be clear but also darker. And if you've ever seen stained glass in a cathedral, that's just glass with metal mixed in during the melting process. Basically, someone thought, what if this see-through rock had attitude and created art? Wait, if glass is a liquid, does it flow? There's a myth that old church windows are thicker at the bottom because glass flows over time. Sounds cool, but nope, that's not real. The reason old glass is uneven is because medieval glass blowers weren't working with Home Depot level precision. They made wonky glass, and when people installed it, they put the heavier part on the bottom for stability. Glass is weird, but it's not slow-motion lava. So, why are windows clear? Simple. Glass is made from sand that's been cooked into a weird atomic structure. This structure lets light pass through instead of bouncing off. Our eyes accept this deal and let glass be transparent. And if you mess with the surface or chemical makeup, you can change how clear it is. But really, the only reason you've never questioned this before is because windows are so good at their job that you forget they exist. That's right, windows are the unsung heroes of architecture. They let in light, keep out rain, and occasionally provide birds with the world's rudest surprise. So next time you look out a window, take a moment to appreciate that you're staring through a solid object and that science made that possible. And if you enjoyed this unnecessarily deep dive into the weirdness of glass, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Or, better yet, go outside, look through a window, and pretend to be deeply enlightened. Just to confuse people. See you in the next one.